to the hedge with Double D.
The Hedge with Double D.
Colin, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. It's been weeks, honestly, since we did the long form podcast. So, welcome back, viewers. Welcome back, Colin. Thank you for joining me, buddy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think our hearts have been through it with the Packers last couple weeks.
They have indeed.
We had to go into hibernation, a little early hibernation.
Mm-hmm. I know, man. Yeah, the Lions. I'm so sick of the Lions. That was an unfortunate way to lose that. But Jordan Love, man, he's looked better than I expected. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm not gonna say, I don't like all the people saying like, oh, we're going from Favre to Rodgers to Love immediately. It's like, let's pump the brakes. But yeah, I'm excited. I like what I see so far. Nothing wrong with being excited.
Yeah, I think it's good. And you can this is a good kind of view of how good of a coach is LaFleur in terms of his like schemes and stuff like that. Like, is what he wanted to do with Rodgers last year, like, was that, indicative of success. So I'm excited.
Yes, no, I agree. We get to really see LaFleur's offense. Not near as much, if any, plays getting changed at the line. So you get to really see some of these kind of different schemes and formations, all the motions going on beforehand. And honestly, the young receivers are playing well.
Yeah,
it's a promising future for sure. So
yeah, Romeo Dobbs. I mean, the best offenses right now in the NFL are employing like a lot of motion. So hopefully that just kind of, as they get more comfortable with each other, hopefully that just bodes well for the future. I'll tell you, I'm excited for my win totals. Season over. I still feel good about it.
Yeah, no, for the win totals, even for the playoffs. I mean, if you look at their schedule,
yeah.
We've got the Raiders, we've got a bye, and then I can't remember. We've got a couple easier games then. I want to say like the Rams, someone not too tough, and then the Vikings. We've got 3 games that are very winnable coming up.
Yeah. And the next time we play the Lions is like at the very end of the season. So I mean, hopefully we'll be firing on all cylinders.
We get the Bears at home again, or not again, but at home, but with the Bears again. I mean, I feel like the wild card all of a sudden is very much attainable, and kind of the new goal is what it feels like.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. 100%. But moving on from the Pack, they're the Monday night games, so maybe we'll touch on them a little bit later toward the end. We might even touch on them. We're going to try to get these kind of recaps out Sunday night and talk about Monday nights, those for that show also at the end of the weekend. But we'll see. It's kind of random as we're getting started here. As you can hear, people have been sick. I've been sick. We've been out of town. Stuff's going crazy. But our picks are hitting. The picks that we're putting out, they're all hitting. Not all of them, obviously, but we're doing really good. Last week, college and NFL, we were 5-2. So very good there.
Dawson's got a fever dream, and yet he's still hitting on this.
Exactly.
Right, whether his temperature is 100 degrees or a cool 98.6, you just got to keep laying the points.
Just keep laying it. I'm in my Jordan fever month, and letting it ride. So we'll see how long it goes.
So really, you just had a wicked hangover, and now you're...
I'm just hair of the dog, so it's letting it roll, and yeah. So we'll see how it goes for this weekend. But speaking of which, let's get it going. Let's talk about first game of the week. Obviously, it's the Thursday night game, the Amazon Prime. In case Amazon wants to sponsor us, Amazon Prime, get it while it's hot. I don't know. One day, same day delivery.
Well, they can't get free advertising.
These picks, just like these picks. Same day. All right, Thursday night, Bears Commanders. The Bears are trash. Whew. Even last week when they looked good, all of a sudden they still lose. I guess as a Bears fan, if you know you're going to be bad, might as well lose those games and try to get. Right now, they're lined up for the 1 and the 2 pick, so become one of those sad teams that enjoys the drafts more in the season, like the Browns kind of used to be. So, sorry, Bears fans, but that's what it looks like right now. Washington's favored by 6, over under 44.5, and we can look at some props for this game too. But my initial thought is you got to ride with the Commanders -6. They looked good last week. They've looked good this year in general. They're 2-2, but they've looked pretty good. The Bears looked bad. Colin, initial thoughts on -6 before we move to any props. Are you leaning Commanders like I am?
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning that way. And the fact that it's, a Thursday night in Washington, they're going to be feeling it. The Bears really, don't have any life. Certainly the, Fields, he played, decent last week. If anybody had him on their fantasy teams, he did pretty good, but he's not happy with the structure. There was already a rumor today about some people looking, for the next Bears head coaching job, which is it's pretty bad when you're only played 4 weeks and
Yeah.
you're already kind of heads on a spike. I think the fact that the only thing you can say with the Bears is plus 175 for Justin Fields anytime TD score.
Mhm.
Pick him to run it in one. That could be tasty. And then also that their running back Herbert, anytime TD score is really juicy as well. But this is one that I would stay away, like betting the 6. But at the same time, I pick Washington to win it. But I don't have enough faith to do Bears +6.
Yeah. When it opened it at -5, -5.5, that looked a lot better if we could have jumped on it there. So I mean, it's worth buying a half point, especially if you're going to parlay it. I always like the Justin Herbert touchdown, especially 175 is good. The Khalil Herbert's good. My favorite prop, I know, my favorite prop is DJ Moore on the over on his receiving. The year they started off very slow, not getting him the ball much. The last couple of weeks they've really started getting it to him more. Or not. Well, I mean, basically it's kind of hit and miss on it. Are they going to get him the ball? I feel like last week they got him the ball more, and they scored a lot of points. I think they're going to keep kind of riding that where, okay, let's keep getting our playmakers the ball. Let's try to get him the ball a lot more. They really want Justin Fields to throw the ball more than run the ball. I don't know if that's the best idea or not, but that seems to be what they really want to do. And I see both sides of that. I'm not the coach. I think Justin Fields is very dynamic running. He's amazing, but you don't want him to get hurt. So I see, both sides of that. But so I love DJ Moore over 48.5. I can't believe it's still under 50 yards. I think I'm gonna ride this over until they start pushing that up to like 60 yards, 65, 70 yards. I just think it's 50 at 48. That just seems so low for their best receiver. They're going to try to give him the ball a lot. They're going to throw in some of these little bubble screens, nothing type of plays, and see if he can do something with it. And they're also going to give him some chances down the field. So I like DJ Moore for his over. Even if you want to, bump that up and look at some of the alternate overs at 60 yards, 70 yards, and really get juicy. Or if you want to get the over in a DJ Moore touchdown. I think his touchdown is like 210 on FanDuel. So DJ Moore to get a touchdown 210, his over at -110. If you put them together, you'll get almost plus 300. I think it's worth playing with those, picking one of those, maybe picking both of those. But at the very least, I really like DJ Moore over 48.5. So I think
Nice.
you parlay that with something, put it by itself. That's how I hit big earlier with him him and Justin Fields scoring touchdowns. So
I like that. Do you feel good about where you at with their over under is set at 44.5? in Chicago this season is currently 4-0 on betting the over. Do you think that ends?
Wow. I don't know. Their defense is really bad, so that's why that over is hitting. So I can see the Commanders. I can see the Commanders putting up, upper 20s on them, and Chicago putting up lower 20s. I think I'd lean over here.
Yeah, I mean, you're essentially asking them like, can we get a 24-21, game?
Yeah.
I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think, especially if we're looking at parlay and all these, especially like I like to do a little with my parlays, I like to put a couple together and buy a lot of stuff here. So
sprinkle.
yeah, if I'm looking at tomorrow night when I'm building this officially, I think I would like something like the DJ Moore hitting the over on the yards. Commanders winning, or even buy it down to Commanders -2.5, but at least Commanders winning. And then getting the over and maybe buying down the over like 2 points down to like 42.5, 41.5. I think that'll give you something nice, still at like plus 400, plus 380, something like that. Maybe even higher than that. So man, there's a lot of good props here that we're liking. So this game, the more I look at it, the more I like it.
Now you know it's a trap at that point.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, you've got a bad defense. Okay, this is why I really okay. The Bears are a bad defense.
Yep.
Not a very good offense. Justin Fields can shine. The Commanders are a really good defense. And the offense is like, not very good, but it can put up points. And in that type of scenario, you really like the Commanders because you like the better defense to stop the offense and the offense to make a play or something like that, So
I like it.
Yeah, so either way, Commanders buy down some points, but Commanders to win. We like the over, maybe buy down some points, but man, I don't know. Who's the Bears' second running back? Because when you see, the Herbert thing.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I saw him on the waiver wire the other day too.
I'll pull it up. So I got the Bears here with their depth chart because you're always wondering, is he going to get those third down? That's right. That's right, Rashawn Johnson. So he gets some carries. So that is the one thing that like I almost like the touchdown from Herbert more than his yards getting over the like 44 or 45 or whatever his yards is at, because I could see Johnson getting some of those carries for sure.
Yeah, because Herbert anytime is plus 230, and then Rashawn is plus 350. So it's like go with Herbert, get the plus 230. Get out of there, get out of there alive.
Yeah. And just on the touchdown, because I don't see. I wouldn't trust him to get a lot of yards, especially if all of a sudden they're trailing.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is running more and passing more. Yeah. So
yeah.
All right.
All
right. Well, let's move on. All right. So that's our Thursday night game. That's where we're going to get most of our props in because the other props aren't really live yet. So, Jacksonville stays in London for the international series, the London game. Buffalo now is there. We're coming to Jacksonville's home away from home. Technically the Bills are the home team, but we all know this is Jacksonville's second home. The Bills are favored by 5.5. Over under 48.5. Colin, is Jacksonville staying there all week from last week going to give them an advantage?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But they have been not playing very well at all. And so how much of an advantage is that?
Yeah.
I like to think that it's plus 5.5 points advantage. I know Bills have been playing really well, and they think they kind of, own the place. But I think that, Jacksonville's that offense has got more fight in it than it's been, doing, this whole season really. But I'm gonna go with Jackson plus 5.5. Give me the the home road dogs in a sense.
All right. I like it. I agree with what you said. I like the home road dog, Jacksonville, or the home road cat, Jaguars. And I think the 5.5. I like it, man. 5.5. I think it's enough. I mean, if you're scared, buy it up to +6. But I think even honestly, buy it down to +4 because I mean, I like you said. I think being there for a week, I think that is an advantage. Just flatly, yes, that's an advantage. You're there for a week. Maybe the Bills start a little slow. And the Jags are a good team. If the offense shows it, I think this comes down to kind of a last possession type of thing. So I like the Jags also +5.
Yeah, you got some dudes that went to the game last week that bought some Jaguars gear, and they're like, "Well, we're locked in. We're fans
Exactly.
now." So
Exactly. I got 2 weeks in a row. Might as well get the Jag swag and cheer on my team. Yeah.
To that point, the over under is 48.5. You think that's a little too high? It goes low. As good as that as good as the Bills defense is, it could be lagging a little bit since it is, in London.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd lean toward the over there. I feel like the Jags are going to put up some points, and then, like we said, the thing if it's kind of going to come down to like a last possession thing, I think this is we're a game where they're both in the upper 20s, and then the last possession put somebody into the 30s.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I feel more confident on the Jags +5.5 than the over under.
Yep.
All right. So there's some agreement there. Texans, Falcons, moving on to the 1 o'clock games. This is just the first one on ESPN when I look. Texans, Falcons, nothing special about it, but Falcons -2, over under 41.5. I feel like you got to keep riding the Texans. The Texans are hot. They're better than I thought. Either way, it's going to be exciting to see one of these teams is going to be 3-2 after this game. But might as well take the Texans if you're giving them points. One of these games where, to me, this is basically a pick 'em. So I might as well take the 2 points. I don't think the Falcons are very good. And the Texans are surprisingly better than I thought. So.
Yeah, I think this is a game of if you're gonna whatever person you bet on this, simultaneously bet on the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year because you got C.J. Stroud at +175 and you got Bijan at +380. So whoever you think, ride with that person. For me, I'm right there with you. I'm Houston money line. I think they're gonna win. I think CJ Stroud's playing well enough, and it seems like that team, and especially D'Amico Ryans, the coach over there at Houston, has really kind of established something. And I see them keeping it rolling in Atlanta. It's just the only thing that could hurt them is if they went out, Saturday night in the Falcons.
So, okay. Yeah.
It's a noon kickoff.
No, I like the offensive rookie thing. I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, Robinson was definitely at the beginning of the year more of like the favorite. Everybody loved him. The CJ Stroud has really come on hot in the last couple of games. So.
Well, and to that point, the Falcons been very clear that they want to preserve Bijan, so they're not going to run him into the ground. He's going to be continuing to split carries with their other running back. So yeah, I think that I feel pretty good, honestly, about as long as CJ Stroud is healthy, I think he's going to
win it. No, yeah, that's important. But I agree with that. And he really hasn't been. I mean, he hasn't run a whole lot. He hasn't been getting hit a whole lot. I mean, I like Stroud, man. Especially as a rookie of the year, he's got Nico Collins there, and they seem to have a good rapport. So, yeah. All right, but either way, we both like the Texans there, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Good for the Texans. All right, another game. All right, much bigger spread here. Panthers, Falcons. I'm sorry. Panthers, Lions. Panthers, Lions. It's in Detroit. Lions favored by 10. Man, the Lions are definitely a better team, but I think I'm going to lean toward the Panthers in that plus 10 line. The Lions just happened. They had a big win against the Chiefs. They came back and played not as well against the Seahawks. And then just now they had a big win against the Packers. I could see the same thing happening, playing not as well against the Panthers. Maybe not so much that they lose like they did against Seattle, but just not covering 10 points. That's a lot in the NFL. So I would lean toward the Panthers here, and kind of Lions. Not so much a letdown game, but not playing as well as they should. What do you think?
Yeah, I think if it was like a regular, played Sunday, I could see the, Lions just not bringing it their all. But the fact that they have, a week and a half to prepare, and so you have a couple days to, essentially screw off. I feel good about the Lions minus 10, and I also think the over under. I would take the under on that one at 44.5, because I could see this being a 27-10 game, and a lot of ball control. If you're looking at, when the props do come up, Gibbs for the Lions having a good game. A lot of Laporta, just running those, short routes and things like that. He gets out in space, my kid. But yeah, I think the Lions win it. Take the minus 10 and take the under and pair with it.
Okay. I like what you said about Gibbs, especially Montgomery had the 3 touchdowns last week against the Packers.
Yeah.
I'm big about the trend, but the opposite of that in terms of the trend of I think organizations know that players think about stats, I think about touchdowns, and they think about, okay, this guy scored 3 touchdowns. Let's get the other guy the goal line touches this week, get him a touchdown. I think that's a very real thing. So I like the Gibbs to score a touchdown this week. So maybe if you want to stay away from the line of minus 10, just pick the Lions to win and pair with Gibbs to score a touchdown, or do something like the Lions minus, 3.5, minus 4.5, exactly, minus 6.5, and the score.
And they win by a touchdown, hopefully, yes.
Yeah. All right. So okay, this one, Titans Colts. This is one where I'm jumping on the home doggy. Colts, I know when they had Andrew Luck, they had the Titans number. It's not the same since then, but still the Colts, Titans, it's a tough series, divisional matchup. The Colts usually play well against the Titans. I like the Colts +2 here as the home doggy. Richardson has been way better than I expected. He's running. He's going to get hurt a lot, it seems like, unfortunately. We'll see, unless he kind of, learns how to not get hit so much. But the Titans are really good when they're the underdog. When they're the favorite, it's better to bet against them, it seems like. So I'm taking the Colts +2. You're shaking your head. You agree?
Yeah, so it's funny because, is Jonathan Taylor going to play? I think this is the first time that he's coming off the pup. So if he plays, can you see him get 11 carries and get, decent decent yardage and just kind of change up things? This is one of those that I would rather just take the under and not bet either one, because you're putting faith in, both teams that I don't really trust a lot. So I would just go under the 42.5. I think it's a real defensive minded game with Vrabel going in there. I do think that the Titans will win it because I think, Vrabel is, I think he's going to gas them up and to get the job done. So, if I had to choose, give me, -1.5. But I'd rather just take the under on it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll be opposite here, because I'm going to take the Colts money line here.
Yeah.
Titans on the road aren't as good, but I would also lean toward the under. So I'll agree with you there. All right. Giants, Dolphins. Another big spread here. Just like the Lions Panthers, the Dolphins are the home team. Big spread, -11. Over under 48.5. Colin, I'll let you start here. I feel like I've started all of them. So what are you thinking?
I think that for the Giants, this has got to be just like what are we this year? What is, because are we going to be looking at what next year is? And do we have a Daniel Jones problem? Or is this just, hey, we're dealing with a lot of injuries and that's just what it is? With that being said, give me Miami. I'll take the over plus the money line of Miami. I know that's probably not the juiciest thing on the planet. It's probably like -300 for the win. 10.5. It's a dangerous thing in the NFL if you take two -10.5s in 1 week. So it makes me a little bit nervous. Because Dayball is a good coach, and so I think that the Giants can score points. So maybe just tease it down, but Miami's going to win it, hit the over. And Miami's over for the year, they're 3-1. So just stick with the trend. Obviously, that 70 points did it on its own.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like the over here too. I think the over is what I'm kind of looking at more so. Miami is gonna put up like 38 on them on their own.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, I think it's gonna be up to the Giants. Can the Giants put up, 13, 17? Man, I mean, yeah, I think the Dolphins are gonna crush them. I like the over. I like the Dolphins -11. Oh man, I don't know. That's so much though, like you said.
It's just that is one of those, much more than the Carolina Lions game. This is one that the Giants could backdoor cover in the fourth quarter. Like, Tyreek is on the sidelines. He's not really, focused on it because they're up by 4 touchdowns. And then next thing you know.
Yeah. They're up by 18, and then they score at the last second, go for 2, and it's a 10-point game. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'll lean toward the over more than anything for that one for the Dolphins. Man, the Dolphins, they're hard. Well, they're not. It goes both ways. I want to say they're hard to pick touchdown scores for because they don't follow the same thing of like, well, this guy scored a bunch, so we'll go this way. It's like, well, this random guy, A-Chains, scored 4 times, so let's let him score 2 more times and and give him the ball at the goal line. It makes no sense, but they score so much that there's a good chance everybody scores. So
yeah,
they're good on touchdown. It's almost like anybody you want's a good chance to score a touchdown there. I like Mostert, but I feel like his odds aren't going to be that great. They're going to be like -150 or something. So maybe, if you're going to pick him with the Dolphins to win type of thing.
Yeah, they are definitely a Madden team for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, this one, the Saints and the Patriots. The Saints, I don't know what to think of the Saints. I thought they'd be better than they seem to be. I will think they're better than the Patriots though. So to see the Patriots -1, that's definitely part of the home favoritism there. But I think I like the Saints here. Over under 40 is pretty low.
So
oh man, that one's gonna be tough. And I think it could be that this one could be one of those 17-13 games. So I don't know about the over under. I'd lean toward the under, but either way, I think I like the Saints here. I would imagine Derek Carr is a little bit healthier. They're gonna figure out how to use Kamara better. As a fantasy owner, I loved 13 catches, even though we only got like 20 yards, which is crazy. I loved all the points I got with the PPR. But as a Saints fan, I'd be like, let's do something besides throw him the ball for 2 yards every time.
right.
So I don't know, man. I would imagine that gets a little bit better. I don't have any faith in the Patriots. It's almost more that I don't believe in the Patriots than I do in the Saints. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, and the crazy thing is everybody was touting the Patriots defense and that, hey, Ramondre Stevenson's going to play really well this year. And it just has not, the line has not held up. Mac Jones is even worse than, the people that couldn't stand him last year. They really can't stand him now. And anybody that was kind of holding out hope is like, well, this may be kind of a Blake Bortles type situation. Just, it ain't going to work. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I think New Orleans wins it. The only reason that you would bet the Patriots is just Bill Belichick's on the sidelines and they're at home, and he can, confuse any other coach. So it's I think the defense of the Saints will kind of stifle the Patriots offense. So yeah, give me New Orleans, and I'm gonna take the under as well. New Orleans is 0-4. Betting the over. I'm gonna ride with that. I know it eventually will. They'll eventually go over, but I don't think this is the game.
Yep. All right. I agree with that. This, I don't know. Yeah, this doesn't seem like the game. New Orleans has a great defense. Patriots have a good defense. So the under seems really good here. I feel more confident about the Saints. So if anything, I'd like the Saints to win and maybe bump the under up to like 44. Just to be safe in case they get an extra goal, something like that. Either way, like we said, we like the Saints. There's another good little doggy that we like there. We got one more 1 o'clock game. We only got 1 minute left. We'll come back and then we'll cover this last game, and then we'll cover the 4 o'clock games, the Sunday night, the Monday night, and then we'll get out of here. So, stick with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Hedge with Double D. Thank you for sticking with us.
The Hedge with Double D.
All right. We got one more 1 o'clock game. We got the Ravens going to Pittsburgh, another divisional game. Ravens got a big win last week against Cleveland. They're just getting healthier. So I guess that's good for the Ravens. It definitely is. I like the Ravens here, -4. Over under is 38, very low, but that makes sense for the AFC North. The Steelers just aren't very good. I don't like their offense. They're still missing Deontay Johnson. I mean, you gotta like the Ravens here. They just had a big win. I think they keep going. They're better. The -4 scares me because these games can easily come down to a Justin Tuck field goal to win it at the end. Justin Tucker, sorry.
I love Justin Tuck.
That'd be interesting. Let's see here, but so I don't know if I'd take the -4 there, but I definitely lean toward the Ravens to win here. Man, 38 over under is interesting. What are you thinking?
It's tough. You got two great coaches, telling Mike Tomlin, hey, you're up by, 4 points to start the game. You got to feel pretty good. But the only problem is he doesn't have the horses to run. And I think this could be a real interesting kind of point for the Steelers of what their, season looks like. 2-3 isn't really a whole, especially in that division, but it's certainly tough. You got to start, asking tough questions. So I think that Baltimore's going to win it, but I would take Pittsburgh plus the 4 because I think it is, to your point, I think it's a 1 to 3 point game. Very low scoring. 38 definitely kind of scares me because, they could, but I know I've been riding a lot of unders. I'll still take that under. Lamar can have a good game and still get, 21 points and, get 17 and then, Well, that would be a push. Well, I can't do math, can I? Well, aside my bad math, I'd still take the under at 38. Give
Yeah.
it that.
Yeah, I think I take the under here too. And points, player props, especially on the Steelers. I think I take a lot of receiving props, unders, whatever. I would imagine George Pickens under or whatever total is going to be around the 70s. I would take under on that. Hopefully they get back to running the ball, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe take Kenny Pickett's over on rushing. That's always interesting to see. But
I think the Zay Flowers anytime TD, whatever that pops up as, take that number because I think that Lamar's going to look for him deep in a couple spots, and certainly anytime that they're in the end zone, if Lamar's not going to run it, I would trust him to throw it to Zay Flowers. So that's where I'd be leaning. That's where I'd try to get more money.
Okay, that'd be an interesting prop, yeah, because I bet you that'll be pretty good money there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move to the afternoon games. We got the Eagles at the Rams. Eagles are -4.5. The over/under is 50.5. Obviously the Eagles went to overtime. The Rams went to overtime. Both these teams went to overtime last week. That's interesting. And both of them won in overtime. Even more interesting. So, the Eagles are obviously the better team here. But are they 4.5 better on the road is the question. Colin, what do you think?
I say yes. I think if you would ask me at the beginning of the season, hey, Eagles are going to be favored by 4.5 against the Rams, I would take that 10 out of 10 times. And I think it's just the fact the Rams have outperformed their expectations, and the Eagles have started a little bit, kind of slow in that sense. That's where this betting is. So give me the Eagles, and in terms of anytime TD score, I think that Brown is a lock, especially after a couple weeks ago he was complaining about not getting end zone looks. I think he's gonna consistently get at least 2 every time they come down there.
Okay, I like that. I like that with AJ Brown. I like the Eagles also to win and to cover. I feel like this could be a game where they win by double digits easily.
Yep.
The Rams have played better than I thought, and the Eagles have played a little bit worse than I expected, but not so much worse. I mean, they're still 4-0. And the NFL's tough, so I see them winning 4.5 though.
Yeah. And with that Rams, it's almost like you're just like, all right, it's McVay gonna cook up something, so Nakua just goes off, but it's like they're not gonna win.
Yeah, they'll get some. They could get some stats, but I still wouldn't take the Rams.
Agreed.
Yeah. Moving on. Bingo. This is another one of those. If we talk about the beginning of the season,
yes.
If you gave me the Bengals -3 against the Cardinals, he'd be all over that 20 out of 10 times.
Yes.
But all of a sudden, they're both 1-3. The Bengals have looked just bad compared to what you thought they'd be. The Cardinals have looked slightly better than what we thought. Dobbs is playing a lot better than what we expected. So all of a sudden, the Cardinals are kind of have more momentum. The Bengals looked terrible against the Titans last week, but the Bengals are favored -3. That doesn't surprise me. There's no way you could favor the Cardinals over the Bengals right now. I think it's pretty fair to say the Joe Burrow injury is much more, affecting him a lot more than we expected it to, or than they told us it would. I'm kind of staying away from this game in general. I'm not going to actually bet it, but for the terms of the show, I'll take the Bengals -3. I'm going to still take them while they're giving us these points. They fooled me last week. Shame on me. They'll fool me again. Shame on me. So I'm going to take them again. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm okay to be dumb. And just assume that the Bengals are going to get it done. I didn't have faith in Arizona. I haven't had faith in Arizona every single week, and whether I'm right or wrong on it, I still feel that the Bengals are a better team. So, yeah, give me Cincinnati -3 for sure.
All right. Jets Broncos. I know we kind of talked about this earlier. It's an interesting game, even though the teams are bad. Another one and again, another 1-3 versus 1-3. Both teams we expected to be a lot better. The Jets have obviously much more excuses, legitimate excuses with the Rodgers going down. Man, the Broncos, Russell Wilson. I don't know if it's all his. I mean, it's not all his fault. I was gonna say I don't know. It's not all his fault. The defense has been way worse than expected. But I mean, he's locked in for the big contract you were talking about earlier.
Till 2028.
Whew, my goodness, man. Oh, it's not looking good for the Broncos for sure. Then in the long run, it's not looking great for the Jets in the long run. I mean, this is just in terms of the short run this week. The Broncos are -1.5, and I think I would take the Broncos. I think after last week, maybe they figured out a little bit of their offense. Their defense isn't that bad to be giving up all these points the last couple of weeks. So at some point, they've got to figure something out. And they're at home, and I don't know. I mean, the 1.5 seems like I think you got to take the Broncos 1.5, but I don't know.
I think that Russell Wilson is really lucky that this season the Broncos aren't going to play the New Orleans Saints because if that were the case, Sean Payton would take Russell Wilson to the swamp and a gator would have accidentally got him because that man is so done with Russell Wilson. I think it's a battle between the two of them. I think that the Jets win. I think the Jets win. I think, call me crazy. I see Russell Wilson getting sacked a couple times, getting another pick. Let's get weird and throw a special teams TD in there. I know Zach Wilson sucks. I understand that. But I just think Denver doesn't really know what they want, and I think Sean Payton knows that this is the year to figure his stuff out of who he wants to keep and who he wants to go. And who knows? You could have a trade partner. Maybe Sean Payton wants to talk to the Jets after this and say, "Hey, you want Russell?"
Yeah. Oh, hey, that'd be interesting and exciting and good for everybody. It feels like,
I don't know how they do that with a cap though.
That's really but make it work. I mean, they'd have to trade away like someone on defense, I guess, too. But
yeah,
no, put it in the Madden trade system, make it work.
Hit the override, just get it done.
Yeah, do though. All right. Last afternoon game: Chiefs and the Vikings. Chiefs -4.5 at Minnesota. Minnesota's defense is really bad. Chiefs defense isn't very good. The 52.5 for the total. I might lean toward the over there. It's going to be a bunch of points scored. But in general, I don't see the Vikings beating the Chiefs, man. Especially this kind of turns into the game of the week. I don't know if it's going to be the game of the week in terms of like Romo and Nance covering it, but it's Kirk Cousins. Any sort of prime time is not prime time, but it could turn into a prime time-ish. Lots of eyes on them. Maybe Taylor Swift comes to the game and it turns into the new Swift game of the week. And, that's not good for Kirk Cousins. So I'm leaning toward the Chiefs. I'm leaning towards the -4. Maybe be safe, buy it down to -3. But I like -4. I think you might even want to buy it up to -4.5. -5.5. Sorry, sell it up to that. I definitely like the Chiefs here, Colin. What do you like?
Yeah, the only thing against the Chiefs is that Andy Reid does not care about covering at all. I don't think he ever has.
Well, shit.
But I'm with you on the Chiefs. I would honestly like to split it up of first quarter Chiefs -1.5, and then go to the fourth quarter and give a little Vikings plus on the spread. They're +1.5 because I think that they're going to kind of come back towards the end, still lose, but yeah, I'll take -4, gun to my head, but I'd rather just split it into the first quarter and then last quarter. I think that's the way it goes.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah, Chiefs kind of win throughout the game, and the Vikings just kind of don't get beat even worse in the fourth quarter, basically.
Exactly. Honestly, kind of remnant of the Vikings' first game this year. They kind of backdoor covered at the very end.
Yeah. No, yeah, and the Vikings, they're going to be good for backdoor covers this year as long as they have Kirk Cousins playing for sure.
100%.
Yeah. All right, man. Biggest game of the week: Cowboys at the 49ers, Sunday Night Football, NBC. 49ers favored by 4 points, -4, over under at 45. I love the 49ers here. I think the Cowboys are going to be one of those teams that beats up on bad teams and gets beat by good teams. I love the 49ers -4 here. Again, I think this is one where you can even take them up to -5.5, -6. I love I think the 49ers definitely win. And I think that's the safest bet. No need to get into any of these fancy player props. Just take the 49ers, take the -4, take your money.
Take the money. Take the money. I actually see FanDuel has got the 49ers -3.5, so that's even better.
Yeah, take it. Jump on it right now.
Take it.
Yep. Seems like we're both there. Yeah, take it. 49ers, best team right now, it seems like. I put a big old $50 on them to win the Super Bowl when it first started on FanDuel to get those little $5 bets every time they win. And I love it. It's looking great.
Yeah, looking pretty crispy.
I hate the 49ers, but that bet's looking good. So
yeah, it broke my heart.
Oh no.
3 years ago was the worst.
It feels like it's like every playoffs.
Yeah.
But let's speaking of which, Monday Night Football, the Packers. We'll touch on this quickly because I think we're going to touch on this again later on in the week. But Monday Night Football, Packers, Raiders, Devontae Adams, revenge game. Either way, whatever you want to say. I think it's all love. No love lost for Devontae Adams, both sides. So I love him. Hope it goes well for both sides. But I gotta like the Packers here. They're only favored by 1.
Yes.
The Raiders aren't that great. Packers are looking good. It seems like we're getting healthier and healthier, where all of a sudden we're going to have the 11 days off instead of the 10 days or whatever. So hopefully we get Jair Alexander back. Hopefully we get Elgin Jenkins back. Hopefully Aaron Jones is closer to 100%. Christian Watson's back. If we can get all those people back, I think we kind of roll and win by closer to 6, 7, if not like 9, 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Take Packers all day. I think the Pack first half plus the game is plus 160. I like that. I think they do it wire to wire. And so taking that first half plus the game winner gets you plus odds. I feel really good about that. Yeah, I love Devontae. He's my favorite player, but sorry, buddy.
Yep. I think there's nothing wrong with taking a Devontae Adams over on the receiving yards and the touchdown. Maybe put those together. That's always a good bet. But either way, Packers to win. So Honestly, you probably get really good odds to get Devontae Adams to hit his over, to hit his touchdown, and the Packers to win. Because usually, if you put opposite sides like that, it'll really juice it up. But that'll be kind of. I'm sure. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if DraftKings has a little like Packers special where it's Packers to win, Devontae Adams to hit his overs and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we'll. If y'all do DraftKings, hire me. I'm for hire. So chilling it out. Colin, I don't know. I'll bring Colin with me.
Marketing specialist, vibe coordinator. I can do
yeah.
I can do it all.
Yeah. All right, vibing it up, vibing it out. Thank y'all for joining us. Excuse me. We're getting over sicknesses. We're still hitting bets. We're still hot. I know we missed last week, but we're back this week. So listen to what we said. For our official bets, if you don't want the long form, it's fun. We have fun here. But I understand a lot of people don't have time for this. If you just want the 30-second, the 60-second stuff, check out our TikTok, check out our YouTube, Facebook, all of the reels, the shorts, TikToks, whatever you want to call them. It's all under The Hedge with Double D. And you'll see everybody out there putting out little short videos with picks. So last week we didn't have long form, but we had the short-term videos. We still hit big. I forgot to put it out, but Colin sent me a Ryder Cup special. So we're even putting out golf stuff. I'll get it out next time.
Plus 800 hit, people.
I know, and the big one hit, and it's on me. It's on me.
If a tree falls in the forest,
Yeah, no one heard it this time, unfortunately. So, but we'll get them out. So make sure you follow us on TikTok, on YouTube, all that stuff. Follow, subscribe, review, rate, blah, 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 blah. Unsubscribe and do it again so we get it twice. Make sure you cheat, get those numbers juiced.
We'll have a troll farm soon that will be just
whatever it
flooding.
takes. Yeah. And we'll have the most listeners with 5 people listening. Yeah. But again, bet responsibly. Listen to what we said. See if you agree. Don't forget to hedge those bets if you got a little parlay cooking. And thank you for listening, Colin. Thank you for joining me, buddy.
Peace, brother.
All right, we will see y'all this weekend to recap and see how we did. Good luck. And thank you for listening. See ya.